Welcome to the Massage Tools Podcast, your home for cool interviews and reviews. You do have an arm of your business that is teaching massage therapists the business side of it. Would you mind telling us a little bit about that?
Oh, I'd love to tell you about it. What would you like to know?
I guess
the business is more important. Say that. Kelly, the business is more important than the clinical.
Okay.
It's a weird thing to say. You can be super good with your hands. You can be super powerful and effective getting people out of pain, helping them relax, helping them move, increasing their range of motion. You can be brilliant. But if nobody knows about you, or if you can't get clients on your table, you're in a vacuum. So what good does that do?
Okay.
So business skills need to be, if not the same, they actually need to be better or more, more focused than the clinical, which is the opposite, right? Most therapists, if you look at a conference, you'll see 90% of them taking modalities and techniques and the clinical approaches as opposed to the business. The people who are really successful focus, if not as much, but more on how to run a successful practice.
Okay. Where did you acquire your business skills to be able to put into practice for your own business and then also be able to teach others about it?
Yeah, good question. So I've done a lot of research on my own, and I also hired my own business coaches.
Okay.
I'm one of those famous lone wolves. I can do it on my own. I'm smart. I can figure this out. And I could, and I was doing fine. I was pretty darn successful in having a full load of clients and making a lot of money way back when. But I was also burning out because I was seeing, I was working with like 5 or 6 clients in a day and then teaching an aerobics class or two. And I was riding my little scooter to get over to clients' houses in between. And I was really doing well, but I put it in air quotes because I was physically burning out because I was exhausted. So I finally got smart and hired a business coach. And it was the best investment I ever could have made. And it was super expensive. Like way back then, I think it was $5,000, and it was for a few phone calls. And then he sent me a box of, what was it? Not CDs. It was like videotape, like, VHS tapes, right? Way back when. So
you said
it was
what?
And then the phone calls. But the phone calls, I could ask him questions and I could get the information. I could get the ideas of how to be more strategic in my approach. So then I could work fewer hours, but make more money. And so as I learned from him and applied that to my own practice, then I was able to start teaching that. Because, people would say, well, how do you have the clients you want? How do you get doctor referrals? At that time, I was billing insurance for services. I don't anymore. But, people wanted to know why was I able to make it work? And so I started teaching what I was learning. And also in my own practice, through trial and error. Yes, do this, don't do that. I made mistakes. I invested tons of money in stupid advertising that didn't work. It was just not the right thing to do. But nobody taught me. I didn't have anybody to fall back on or, to get advice from. So that's really the secret, is, getting a group of people who you can bounce ideas off of, not who are all trying to figure it out together. You have to have somebody who's already been there and done that. Okay. What I see too often is a whole bunch of people complaining or saying, well, you might want to try this, or how about try that? Well, then you're wasting a lot of time and energy and money if you're just trying stuff,
Okay. If it isn't too much of digging into your trade secrets and whatnot, what is maybe one element of the business side that you think therapists spend the least amount of time on? So there's you could talk like as far as the business goes, like specific types of advertising or their pay scale or things like that. Of all the components on the business part, what do you think is maybe the weakest element of most massage therapists?
Yeah, good point. Good question. So I'm writing a book right now that's going to cover an overarching view of how to be more successful. And in lots of, there's different definitions of successful. My definition now, I'm a mom of 2 kids. I've got my business. I want to have a lot of time to play. My definition of success is making a lot of money in as short amount of time as possible and having a lot of free time. That's my definition of success. Now, before, when I was starting, my definition of success was being as booked as I could. I was proud to say I had 8 hours of clients a day. That was, that was what I thought was successful. Now I'm like, I work on 3 days a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. I see clients. I take no more than 4 appointments on a day. So between like 9 and 12 hours max of me in clinic. So the mistakes I see, the biggest thing is if you're working for someone as an independent contractor, or if you're an independent contractor business owner hiring other therapists or contracting with other therapists, the mistakes, and again, there's lots of nuances and there's lots of variables, so it's not a one size fits all. But if you're an independent contractor working in a clinic for a chiropractor, for another massage therapist or physical therapist, whomever, you need to know what your rights are. Too often, you're being taken advantage of. Too often, you're being treated as an employee. When you're being called an independent contractor, you're not getting the benefits of an employee, but you're getting the restrictions of an employee. So that's a big concern. The second thing, if you're in your own practice and you're not sure who your niche is. So I talk often about a dream client. Who's your dream client? Dream client, I have a triangle. I call it the client selection triangle. I'm looking around to see if I could show you, but I don't have it here. Client selection triangle. 3 points to a triangle. Super simple. It's a filter that every new client who contacts you, if they want to get in your practice, you put them through this filter. What are the 3 points? Number 1, do you like them? Do you like them? Like, will you have them over for dinner? It's simple. All too often, we end up working with clients that we don't really like. They might be annoying. They might be, critical. They might ask questions that just, but like whatever. So life is too short. Do you like them? Second thing is, do they have an issue or a goal that you can either help them achieve or help them relieve? And I break it into those 2 things because depending on what type of therapist you are, you might be a sports performance therapist, and so you help people run faster, or you help them pedal, if they're a cyclist, climb hills easier. So you're helping them achieve something. Now you may be a pain relief or a stress relief therapist, so you help them relieve things. So you need to know, like, do your homework right now, make a list. What do you help people achieve and what do you help them relieve? Sometimes they're the opposite, but not always, right? You can say, okay, I help them relieve pain, so then they sleep through the night, right? So there's that inverse. But if you can identify, or when you identify what you do with your client, then the filter, one of the points is, can you help them do that? So if I came to you and said, can you, make my hair straight? Well, that's not something you can help me do. Therefore, I wouldn't be a good fit. But often we see therapists trying to shove everybody into their practice when they really don't have the skills or the expertise to be able to help them address their goals. And then the third point, and this is a big one because you're in business. What is the goal of a business? The goal of a business is to make money and to provide a service. So you have to have clients who can afford you. Sounds so simple, but too often we end up attracting people who are broke, or who nickel and dime us, or who ask us for bargains all the time. And you can always donate your time. You can always reduce your fees if you want. If there's a particular person that you want to serve, that's fine. That's at your choice, not at the client's request. And that's a big thing. So if you put those 3 points together, anytime you have a new client who comes to you, put them through that filter. If they match the filter, then you're on your way to working with your dream client. Makes you happier. Makes them happier.
Yeah, it sounds like a great great way to line up client therapist relationships. That's a nice, I like how that's set up. It resonates with me. It's easy to picture in my head, and it's well done. You should do this for a living.
You think?
Yeah. Thank you for joining us, folks. The mission of Massage Tools Podcast is to inspire. So help us inspire you. Ask questions, leave suggestions in the comments section. Give us a like if you enjoyed the video. And if you want to see more content, please click that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and hey, check out these links for other videos here.